Hello, welcome. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast, everyone. I don't like that window in the background. I'll just move this way. Hello, hi. Hi, Xylo. Welcome. Welcome. All right, so I was watching another chronically ill person. Yes, may the fourth be with you guys. May the fourth be with you. Silosh, Pierre, hi everyone. Hi Juan, welcome. So, I was watching another scoper yesterday. Her name is Hurricane Kelly. And she has lupus. And I was listening to her talk about, I am from Los Angeles. Hi, Crazy. So, if you want to follow her, she's at Hurricane N Heals. Hurricane, the letter N and Heals. Hi, Crazy. How are you? Jen. Hi, Jen. So, she was talking about how she's been getting a lot of spam in her Twitter because people are trying to sell her products for her lupus. People are, telling her, oh, this is amazing. This is going to help you. This is going to help your illness. And she was saying, don't bother me, Good afternoon to you too, Juan. So she was saying, please don't bother me with these spams. If your product really works, then I would probably find it whether or not you're spamming me. And it really, really spoke to me. Hi, Tanner. Her scope really spoke to me, and it actually inspired my scope today. So I want to talk about things that you should not tell a sick person or a chronically ill person, because it's really annoying, and I think sometimes some of these things are very disrespectful. And I thought it would be a really fiery topic to get into because my last two scopes have been kind of slow and kind of quiet. We did a couple of meditations the last couple of days. Hi, Shane. Welcome. I do have an email, but I don't give it out on here. So if you want to contact me, you can follow me on Twitter. All of my information is in my bio. There's also a link to my You Caring fundraising page, and there's also more information there about my Lyme disease. So these are things that you should never tell a sick person. I divided them into categories because there are so many, but they all seem to fall under a certain umbrella of, like a certain theme. And so some of these I found online. Most of these are from personal experience. I have people constantly telling me things. I mean, even other sick people tell me these things. And it's like, you should know you're a sick person. I know you wouldn't like it if I told you these things, but it's different for everybody. Sometimes as a sick person, you don't see or you don't pay attention to what you tell other people. And it's something that you wouldn't want someone to tell you. So the first category, and probably the biggest one, in my opinion, is all the psychological babble that people give you. Hi, Dianica, welcome. And Dianica, thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you guys want to donate, you can go to my You Caring page. It's youcaring.com/Marisol has Lyme. There's a link in my bio to it. Check it out. There's also more information about my disease there as well. So thank you so much, Dianica. I really appreciate it. And thank you for helping raise awareness for this disease. Not a lot of people know about it, so it really does help to spread the word. So the psychological stuff. Yes, we definitely need to raise awareness. The psychological stuff that people will tell you, it's probably just stress. You're probably just stressed out. Or stress is going to make it worse. Or it's all in your head. Or you need to relax. I don't work, so I'm pretty relaxed at home. You would think that my illness might have disappeared by now. But no, it's not all in my head. Okay, I have blood tests to prove it. I have, all kinds of things to show you that this is not all in my head. There's also just don't think about it. It's not that bad. Just ignore it. Just ignore it and it'll go away. It'll go away on its own if you stop paying attention to it. My favorite, you look fine. You look just fine. I actually had an uncle, one of my uncles, this was like 5 years ago. We were at a big birthday party for a family member. This was, I would say, 6 or so months before my diagnosis. I was really underweight, and he comes up to me at this party and he goes, "You look really bad. You look really bad. I don't like this. You look really, really bad." And I just looked at him, he's saying this in front of all kinds of people, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. After my diagnosis, I was worse. I looked even worse. But I was diagnosed, and he saw me at another family function, and he goes, "You look so good. You look really, really good. Like, you just look you look really healthy and this and that." When in fact, I actually looked worse. But because I had a diagnosis, he was trying to convince me that, no, you don't have anything. You're fine. So I thought it was very interesting, the difference before I was diagnosed. He said that I looked terrible. And then after I was diagnosed, suddenly it was like, you look fine. And that's because people want to convince you that there's nothing wrong with you. Once there's evidence, they try to, kind of contest that evidence by trying to, put these ideas into your head. I've been told, you need to stop dwelling, even though I really don't talk about my illness that much. There's also you're too young to be sick. You're too young to be sick. And I get this from older people, aunts and uncles. You're too young to be sick. Look at me. I'm 80 years old and I have all of these problems. You're too young to be sick. You shouldn't be having these problems. So, and there is no age. There is no age. Illness does not discriminate against your age. It doesn't look at you and say, "Oh, you're 20 years old. I'm not going to make you sick right now." And for those of us that are sick, you know this. Yes, the ignorance is ridiculous. I've had friends, I tell my friends about, issues in my family, and they go, "Oh my gosh, that's so stressful. That's probably why you're not getting better." And it's like, yeah, it probably is why I'm not getting better, but I have no choice. I have to live with my family because I'm disabled. Yes, denial. I have, people in my family that are in such denial, it's ridiculous. But the thing that other people don't understand is that they may be in denial, but we have to accept our illness. It's an invisible disease, yes. You can't see it on the outside. I think you can see it on me. I mean, I'm very skinny, but I guess for some people it's like, "Oh, you look fine." Yes, when you're sick, everybody's a doctor. Your parents are doctors, your aunts and uncles, your friends, everybody feels like they can diagnose you with, with anything or with nothing. So all of that falls under the psychological stuff. It's all in your head. You just need to relax. Maybe if you weren't in such a stressful situation, things would be different. Well, I have no choice but to be in a stressful situation. So the second one that also kind of falls under psychological stuff is, why don't you just be positive? Why don't you just think positive? Stay positive. You'll get better. You'll see. You'll get better over time. Everything happens for a reason. It happened to you. You're going to look back on this and you're going to see that it happened to you for a reason. It must be nice not to work. Try to see the silver lining. You're not working. You're just sitting at home relaxing all day, which is not true. If anybody out there is sick and has a chronic illness, you know it's a 24-hour-a-day job. It's more stressful than having an 8-hour job, because as soon as you clock out, you're done with that job. Being sick is 24 hours a day. Sometimes you're up in the middle of the night, you're in pain, and, you know, you don't get a break. You don't get a vacation from your illness. Yes, people just, they just can't understand. So it's very, very difficult for them to grasp the magnitude of what having a chronic illness is. Thank you for the hearts, Orlando, and welcome to the broadcast. You'll get better over time. Just stay positive. Just look at the silver lining. It happens for a reason. Talk is awkward to say it. Yeah, it's you know, I think some people just want you to look at the positive aspects. But I'm not a fan of fake it till you make it. Yes, may the fourth be with you, Dakota. I'm not a fan of fake it till you make it. I don't think that works. It works for some people. I don't think it works for people with chronic illness, because you can't fake that you feel fine, in my opinion. I can't fake that I'm, you know, okay. I can't fake that I don't have light sensitivity issues, or that I don't have, you know, neurological problems. I can't fake it. You know, I did for a long time, as much as I could, but you can't. So, you know, saying, you know, stay positive. Well, I try to stay positive, but there are days when I'm not going to be positive. And sometimes you just have to accept that you're upset. Hi Dakota. I had a doctor. I went to the doctor's once. I went to urgent care for something. I wasn't feeling good. And the doctor told me, gosh, it must be nice to just be at home. She said something like, yeah, you know, I thought that I was going to do that and just sit home and eat bonbons. And this was a doctor telling me this. And I sat there and I didn't say anything. I'm okay today, Dakota. Yes, a doctor told me that. And I was so shocked that I didn't even respond. I didn't even say anything back to the doctor when I probably should have said something. But I just sat there and was like, oh my God, you know, what do I say to that? You know, but I think sometimes, you know, as sick people, we feel so defeated that we don't say anything. Okay, Dakota, I'll see you in a little bit. We feel so defeated that we just don't say anything, or we're so accustomed to people talking to us that way that we just don't say anything back. But I think it's necessary for us to kind of talk back and stand our ground. We just have to know how to do it. You should just give him a... You know what the sad part was? It was a her. It was a she. Yeah, you know, it was actually a woman, and that was the more shocking part. You know, she was a female doctor. She should know better than to say that to a woman. You know, it was like the most misogynistic thing to say coming from a woman. You know, it was just shocking to say that. So that goes under the whole positivity. You know, you just need to stay positive. Look at the silver lining. You know, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. And I'll be doing some scopes on coping skills and things that have helped me. And you'll get to see the difference between what I've learned and how to cope with, and the difference between just being positive, because it's really, there is kind of a difference. There are techniques that help you cope. It's not just be positive. Yeah, you know, we assume that it's a guy because I'm a female, you know, and we're accustomed to seeing, you know, male doctors talk to women like that, but it was actually a female doctor, you know, which is even more shocking. So yeah, it was the most stupid comment she could have made. So going from positivity, there's the whole other, you know, like the cousin to positivity is gratitude. You're lucky that you don't have this other illness. You're lucky that you don't have cancer. At least it's not cancer. If you think that's bad, you should see this other guy. This other guy is really sick. and you sit there and you're in pain and you're feeling terrible, and you have somebody telling you, no, you're not that bad. Basically, they're invalidating what you feel, and they're telling you you're not feeling this way. Yeah, you just don't say those things, and you'd be surprised. I've had all of these things said to me so far. Exactly. It's not going to make me feel better. It's going to make me feel worse. I have a friend who's on the lung transplant list, and I went to his wedding a couple years ago with my sister, and on the drive back, the whole entire way, my sister was telling me, see, he's fine. He's actually making an effort, and he's this, and he's that. And it's like, it was his wedding. He had to be there. He had no choice but to be there. And I could see that he was struggling. He struggled through his own wedding. And I could see that, but there were comparisons all the way home. See, he was able to make the best of it. And he was able to do this. And look at him. He can barely breathe, and he was there. And it's like, it's his wedding. He had to be there. He had to tough it out. Oh, yes. The closest people to me are the ones that give me all of these comments. I actually feel like I have more sympathy from strangers, to be honest. But the people that are closest to you, I think, are usually the ones guilty of all of this. So yeah, I've had people say, if you think that's bad, you should see this other lady. I think one time I was talking to my mom about my health problems, and she just interrupted me, and she was like, oh, my boss's daughter had a miscarriage, and I mean, she went into all the details of the miscarriage and what happened and this and that, and I'm sitting there like, well, at least she can get pregnant, you know what I mean? Like, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, at least she's gonna have kids eventually, I mean, not to say that that's not a horrible thing. Miscarriage is a terrible thing, and I wouldn't wish it upon anyone, but she has 2 kids now, you know what I mean? So we shouldn't really compare, everybody's burden is different. Everybody's the things that hurt people are different. Somebody may not be as upset about having a miscarriage, but if they have lupus or something, it may sideline their entire life. So everybody has different things that upset them. When people say at least it's not cancer, people have the weirdest kinds of pep talks. They think that they're kind of making me feel better, and it's not making me feel better. At least it's not cancer. I feel that cancer is a horrible thing. It's a really, really horrible thing. But it's really weird. I've known people that that actually have active cancer, and they're still working. And I've known people that have chronic fatigue and they can't work. Cancer is deadly. Maybe chronic fatigue isn't, and people with chronic fatigue sometimes can't work. They can't even get out of bed. So, I mean, you're comparing apples and oranges. Each of these diseases have their own burdens, and it's very unique to each individual. So you can't really compare the two. I'm happy I don't have cancer, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to die from the disease that I do have, or that my life expectancy is not going to be shortened by the disease that I have. It's very possible. People die from Lyme disease. People have died from Lyme disease. People are dying from Lyme disease. And, you can never tell when a person is going to perish from their illness. Yeah. Mental illness as well is very, very difficult. People die from mental illness, So even if you tell a person it's all in your head, that doesn't take away the fact that it's painful or that you're suffering. So that goes under gratitude. You should just be thankful that you don't have this other thing. And that's not, like I said, you can't fake it. You can't fake it. You're still in pain. You can be as grateful as you want. It's not going to make the pain go away. Yeah, mental illness, it is in your head, but it is real. It is real, and it's a condition, and it affects people every single day. My ex-husband had a psychiatric condition, and what he was feeling was very, very real. I never doubted that he was feeling horrible. It's very, very real, And going along with the whole gratitude thing and the comparisons, so-and-so is worse than you. So-and-so has that too, and they're okay. Or I have that too. Yeah, if you could feel the mental struggle of some people and the anxiety that they feel and the pain that they feel in their bodies, mental illness does cause physical pain. So, it's very, very real. By the way, May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. So that's another topic, but it's actually very real. So I've had, so-and-so is worse than you, so-and-so, I had somebody tell me, Avril Lavigne has Lyme disease too, and she's doing fine. Or there's another celebrity, she's a Latin celebrity, and she has Lyme disease, but she's fine now. She got it treated and she's fine. How come you're not okay? And I've had people bluntly tell me that. Family members bluntly tell me that. She had Lyme disease and she's fine. She's fine now. She's doing okay. How come you're not doing okay? So exactly, nobody's experiences are the same. Everybody's genetically different as well, and your genetics play a big part in how you respond to treatment. Yes, the comparisons are just, they're crazy and they're irrational. They make absolutely no sense at all. I recently had a childhood friend get back in touch with me, and she was, like, call me, give me a call, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that. And I told her, I said, I have a chronic illness, I have a hard time with the phone and with hanging out. She goes, I have a cold, but I'm feeling better. And I just sat there and I was like, what does that have to do with this? And she goes, call me right now, call me. I was so mad about that comment that I blocked her. I just blocked her. I was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with you, There's just such a lack of compassion. Hi, Superfro. Welcome. Yeah, there's so much ignorance and such a lack of compassion. But I think some people just, they have a difficult time getting out of their heads. So she has a cold, and that's all that matters to her, is that she's feeling sick. But she's getting better, so how come I'm not getting better, right? Thank you so much for inviting followers. Thank you. So, I've had people do that. Yes, people can be very inconsiderate. They have no awareness. It's like they have no awareness of other people. I've had, people in my family, yes. Some people just don't have empathy or sympathy built into their person. You know what I mean? They just don't know what that is. I've had people tell me like, oh, if you think you have pain, you should feel what I have right now. My sciatica is acting up. You should have this. If you think you have pain, you don't know, and this and that. And it's like, I get it. Most of the time I just stay quiet and I'm just like, okay, this person just needs to be heard. Whatever, just let them talk. Yeah, it's very selfish. It's very self-centered. And a lot of people just, they're just self-centered, I guess. So that's comparing. You're comparing apples and oranges, and no two people are the same. The last category, hi Kate, welcome. Yeah, I thought that was you. Hi Kate, welcome. The last topic goes under effort. And this is, I think, probably the most prevalent one, or the most common one that I get. And this is from even the most sensitive people sometimes. Yes, there's so many people on the planet with different illnesses, and you would think that there would be more knowledge out there. Yeah, Lyme disease is not cured with a shot. Yeah, some people just live in their own world. Yeah, Lyme disease is not a simple disease. It's very, very complex. So effort. You're not trying hard enough. You need to do this, you need to do that, or you need to stop doing this, or you need to start doing that. Have you read this book? Have you tried this supplement? Have you, you're taking too much of this other supplement.